Welcome to this explainer. Okay, I want you to picture something for a second. Imagine this completely invisible but incredibly powerful force. It literally dictates how you feel the second you open your eyes in the morning. It influences how you spend your hard-earned money, and honestly, whether or not you even feel like your life matters. It's not a person, it's not some kind of disease, but man, is it contagious. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on why you are never ever satisfied, and we're going to uncover the dark, frankly fascinating psychology of comparison. We've all been there, right? You're having a perfectly fine day, the sun is shining, your coffee tastes amazing, you're actually feeling pretty good about where you're at in life. And then you pull out your phone. Why is it that just 5 minutes on Instagram has the absolute power to completely ruin your mood and leave you feeling just deeply inadequate? It's honestly like watching a psychological horror movie, except the monster is just a timeline of smiling faces. You start scrolling and bam, someone just bought a brand new luxury car. Swipe, someone you haven't even talked to in years is lounging on this pristine beach in Bali. Swipe, a former coworker just got promoted to director. Swipe, some 22-year-old just launched a massive business. It's relentless. Everyone around you just seems to be winning, advancing, and living out their wildest dreams at breakneck speed. Act 1. The invisible force. Naming the psychological antagonist. Okay, let's take a collective breath here and step away from the everyday panic of the scroll. We really need to look at this through a structured clinical lens. The actual antagonist of our explainer today is a well-documented concept known as social comparison theory. Now, this isn't just some catchy internet phrase. It is the silent controller of your happiness, your confidence, and the major life decisions you make. It's like this invisible string pulling at your self-esteem every single time you look at another human being. Act 2. Origins and escalation. From the village to the internet. So let's dive into this. To understand why our brains react this way to a little glass rectangle, we have to travel way back in time. Notice the massive evolutionary jump here. Think about 10,000 BCE. Back then, you only had to compare yourself to maybe 50 people in your local tribe. And doing that was literally a survival mechanism. Figuring out who the best hunter or gatherer was. That kept you alive. Fast forward to 1954. And psychologist Leon Festinger officially puts a name to this theory. But then look at the leap to the present day. Your ancient brain, which was specifically designed to evaluate a tiny village, is suddenly being forced to compare itself to millions of highly polished strangers online. Our hardware simply was not built to process data on this scale. Think about it for a second. How do you actually know if you're smart or beautiful or successful? Like, if you were literally the only person on planet Earth, would you consider yourself rich? You wouldn't, right? Because there is absolutely no internal measuring tape in the human brain. To figure out its own value, it is forced to look outward. It evaluates itself strictly against the people around it. And this brilliantly illustrates the whole social media trap. You're comparing two fundamentally completely different things. On one side, you have your own behind the scenes. You deeply feel your daily failures, your moments of anxiety, your loneliness, all the messy, unedited parts of actually living. But then you're comparing all of that to their highlight reel. You're basically putting your raw, unedited reality up against a carefully curated, color-corrected movie of someone else's absolute best victories. It's a completely unwinnable battle. No wonder we feel terrible. This whole dynamic creates a very specific psychological state called upward comparison. That's the act of comparing yourself with people who just appear more successful than you. Now, we might trick ourselves into thinking that looking at successful people will automatically inspire us. But when it's constant, relentless, and completely uncurated, it breeds deep, paralyzing envy. It creates this profound inadequacy that's just constantly whispering in your ear that you're falling behind. Act 3. The moving finish line. Why success no longer feels enough. Have you ever wondered why people who actually achieve their lifelong dreams are often still completely miserable? Let's walk through how this escalating trap actually works. Step 1. You get that long-awaited salary increase. You are thrilled. You feel incredibly victorious. Step 2. You go out to celebrate, and over drinks, you discover a peer earns twice as much as you. Step 3. Your victory suddenly feels entirely meaningless. The actual money in your bank account is exactly the same as it was an hour ago, but the joy? Evaporated. Instantly. Comparison literally has no finish line. The second you win one race, your brain immediately enters you into another one. Highly successful people often don't lack achievement at all. They just lack perspective. Because there's always going to be someone richer, always someone faster, always someone younger. Act 4. The twist. It's all about the reference point. Let's bring this abstract science back to a deeply relatable, really cinematic scene of everyday life. Picture what we'll call the Sunday evening shift. The scene opens with you just relaxing on your couch after a highly productive week. The lighting is warm, you feel accomplished, you're at peace. And then you open Instagram. Cut to vibrant photos of a friend's luxury vacation in Dubai, maybe a sleek new sports car, an elaborate engagement party. Slowly, the quiet peace of your living room is replaced by this creeping dread. Your peaceful evening turns into intense anxiety. But here is the major cinematic twist of the whole thing. Absolutely nothing in your reality actually changed. Your bank account is the exact same. Your relationships are the exact same. So, the crucial point here is that only your reference point changed. By simply shifting the baseline your brain uses to evaluate its surroundings, your reality instantly feels worse. You literally hijacked your own happiness without moving an inch. Act 5. The resolution. Redefining the competition. So, how do we escape the movie? How do we reprogram this ancient survival mechanism? Notice the stark contrast between these two mindsets. On one side, you have unhealthy comparison. The voice in your head just asks, why have I not them? And let me tell you, that mindset creates absolute, inescapable suffering. But shift over to healthy comparison, and the voice asks, what can I learn from them? One path views another person's success as a direct threat. The other, it uses a successful person as a teacher to create immense personal growth. Because comparison itself isn't inherently bad as long as we change our perspective. Think about it. Amazing athletes inspire you to train harder. Visionary entrepreneurs teach you brilliant new strategies. Incredible artists motivate you to really improve your craft. That natural instinct to look at others, it's just a tool. It is entirely up to you whether you use it as a weapon against yourself or as a blueprint for your future. The greatest mistake of modern life is turning everyone into our competition. The internet gives us this wild front row seat to billions of lives, but it never, ever shows us the quiet, steady progress of our own personal journey. So this brings us to the ultimate question. If the internet is just a rigged game where there is always someone richer and always someone smarter, who is your only real competition? Now, what's really interesting about this is it's your past self. By shifting your focus completely inward, you entirely rewrite the rules of the game. If your only goal is just to beat the person you were yesterday, you have completely stripped the power away from millions of strangers online. And better yet, you will always have a fair chance to win. Compare less, grow more. I want you to really let that thought linger for a second. The next time you open your phone and you feel that invisible force pulling at your confidence, I want you to remember that you are the author of your own story. You are not just a supporting character in theirs. Change your reference point, silence the highlight reel, and just watch how much you can grow.